25% of car crashes happen within the first 3 minutes of driving your vehicle. I agree. I almost hit somebody the other day coming out of my driveway, putting my seatbelt on. I don't know what it is about not being able to put my seatbelt on before I actually put it in reverse and back out, but I was trying to put it on. I was backing out. Does this ever happen to you?
Mm-hmm. I never put my seatbelt on while parked. I do if the kids are in the car to set an example, but if the kids aren't in the car, it's like, I'm a half mile down the street before I'm clicking that thing on. Because I gotta go. Go.
I got a buddy who has it's like a seatbelt buckle that came off the strap. Mm-hmm. And he's like, here, if you want, just put that in the seatbelt thing and then it won't ding. I'm like, or I could just wear my seatbelt so I don't die since you're driving. Are you trying to kill me right now? Like, what's going on here?
That's funny.
He's like, yeah, go ahead, just grab it and stick it right in there. I'm like, wait, are we not friends? Well, no, I don't like to wear mine either. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Let's just, I'm going to wear my seatbelt. The shorter the trip, the better the chances of being involved in an automobile accident, according to a new study from Dolphin Technologies. I don't know what Dolphin Technology does, but they analyzed 3.2 million car trips. 40,000 people took part in this survey between 2018 and 2019. And the data showed that 87% of the trips last less than 30 minutes, while only 1% of the trips last longer than an hour. So most people take very short trips.
Well, that's why. It's like a coronavirus number, really.
It's like when you're just running down the street to do something, that's when you're not fully paying attention on what's happening.
It's like, ooh, cases are increasing. Ooh, you're also doing a lot more tests.
Yeah. So trips that lasted less than 10 minutes in your car you were more likely to get in an accident.
Right, because those trips take up the bulk of your trip inventory, So it's not like, we're being any more careless.
If I'm running out,
take more trips.
If I'm running down around the corner to get something to eat and bring it back home, I mean, come on, watch out. It's probably when I'm the most dangerous because I'm just like, get there, get the food, and then on the way back. Do you ever do this when you pick up takeout? You tend to go a little faster because you don't want the food to get cold?
Yes, absolutely. The strategy.
But I refuse to do any of these food delivery services because I don't know who this stranger is bringing me the food. And I don't know how long they've had it in their car. Maybe they're fine, but maybe they had other deliveries, and by the time I get it, now my food is, maybe warm.
Maybe warm. Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not hot anymore.
I know.
And certain foods, depending on the consistency and the texture.
Anybody else picking up your food or delivering the food, the hotness of the food is not a priority to them because it's not going into their mouth. So they're not going to put the attention on it that you would put on it. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it. And I just feel like this is the one thing that I don't do that everybody else is doing, and that is get delivery. I will not get delivery.
I'm the same.
I can't stand it. I'd rather just go get it myself.
I've been that way with pizza for years.
Oh, yeah. I'll never get a delivered pizza.
I remember the last time we ordered a pizza. We came back from, your wife drove us. We came back from that thing that the magazine used to do up at the Santa Margarita Ranch, and we were nice and toasty.
My wife drove us?
Yeah, your wife drove us. She wasn't drinking. And then we ordered a gluten bomb from like Papa John's, and she had to leave because she was like, no, we were watching like a football game or something at my house when I lived in San Luis Obispo. And
were we drinking before she picked us up, you said?
She went to the thing with us. She wasn't drinking, so she was the driver. And then we were like, man, we're hungry. Let's just order pizza and watch the football game. And she was like, I can't eat pizza. I got to go get something else to eat. And she left. She left you there at our house. And we ate pizza, and I remember that pizza just being subpar. I mean, just
somebody delivered it.
Yeah, it was delivery pizza. It took them like an hour.
Well, she was going out to get food anyways. We should have had her just pick up something for us.
I wanted pizza. I like my gluten.
Do you also agree that whenever wait times them and they'll say, it should be ready in 20 minutes? Like, no, it'll be ready in 10.
So you'll love this.
I'll be there at the place in 10 minutes. And they're like, oh, you're early. And so, you're lucked out. Your food is too. I'll go, yeah, I know that. Because it's always, you say 20 minutes and it's 10 minutes. And then it sits here for 10 minutes and it starts to cool down and get weird.
There's a pizza place that is a chain. And I don't want to mention who it is. And I know you're going to get mad at me for not mentioning who it is.
I'll probably figure it out.
Okay, there you go. Because they don't buy advertising. And we like to feed our families as well. So if they want to buy advertising, then we can mention them. But this place has an app, and I know that you've gone to a fast food restaurant that has an app, and it is highly efficient to the point where you will run out.
Oh, no. You know what? I don't use their app. I just go through their website.
And
they have an app, but I just go through their website.
You order the food, and it's ready for you when you get there. You walk in, you pick it up, you come back here. You're gone maybe 4-5 minutes tops. I mean, it's amazing how quick it is. And this pizza place does this. And you tell them what time you want your pizza ready, and it's ready. And then you show up, and then there's like a locker there that's got like
now I know exactly what you're talking
15
about.
pizzas in it. And then they send you a little email or a text message, and it tells you what your code is to get into your locker. And you open up the locker, and it's this nice little oven, and your pizza's in there, and it's nice and hot and ready. And then you take it and then you leave. It's awesome. You could order a pizza 3 hours ahead of time if you want. You're like, I feel like having pizza today. Pick it up on the way home.
You know you're going to be by at 5:15.
Yep. Boy, you are stalking me, because that's exactly what time I picked my pizza up the other night.
Just lucky guess.
And it was amazing. I was like, wow, this is the easiest thing. Although the funniest thing happened, another guy was there, and he was a big boy, and he ordered a big order, and he went to get his order, and two lockers opened up for him. Wow. But he didn't notice so he grabbed the only one that he noticed, not the other one, and then it closed on him before he had a chance to get the stuff out. So he's looking at me.
It's kind of like a vending machine.
Yeah, he's looking at me like, like, what do? I don't know. Be faster with your pickup skills, I guess. I don't talk to that guy that's got a line of people 4 deep.
Why are you asking me? I don't know what to do. That's the guy that works here, you jackass.
Maybe not order so much that it occupies 2 of the lockers.
How do we always go back to food? We were talking about getting in accidents within the first 3 minutes of of you leaving your house.
This guy was going to be mad because his pizza was in his locker for too long. He's going to get in an accident.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
I just saw this story about NASA planning to send a woman to the moon in 2024. Have you heard about this? I didn't know we were going back, but apparently we
should go back. We should have gone back years ago.
Why? My question is, why are we going back? But before we get to that, the reason they're doing this is they say it's to prepare astronauts and future endeavors of going to Mars. But, the moon is much closer. We could do that. But we went to the moon. There was nothing there. Did we?
Did we go to the moon?
So my question is, when we go back and if they find anything from the beginning lunar missions that they did back in the late 60s, early 70s, the flag, anything they find. I'm sure there was more stuff left behind.
You know there's no wind on the moon?
And
the flag was outright, even though there's no wind.
I've heard about that. How do we know there's no wind on the moon?
I don't think there's any wind on the moon.
How do we know?
How do we know that a guy landed on the moon?
I'm not smart enough to know if there's wind on the moon or not, but I know that I've seen that picture, that meme, that says, how could this flag be doing this if there's no wind on the moon?
Mm-hmm. They just kind of sit there, unless he pulled it taut and he controlled how it looked, but still you would think there'd be something.
But there's no gravity on the moon, and
there's a little bit of gravity.
Just a little bit of gravity.
Yeah.
So maybe the non-gravity was pulling that piece of fabric up. Maybe it was a straight flag. I don't know. I'd have to look at that flag.
I don't know. I just thought that once we would have went to the moon, we would have kept going to the moon and tried to do something with the moon, but we didn't. We just sat there.
Well, because there's no reason to go to the moon again. That's my point. We went twice. There's no. Oh, okay. Yes, he's holding it out.
People went to the desert.
Okay, Google flag on the moon.
Oh, this desert's terrible, but they still built a city there called Las Vegas, and the city thrives. You got in the middle of nowhere.
You got to click on flag on the moon, and you'll see a picture. I'm gonna maybe share this.
My point is,
he's pulling the flag out, and then that's when it.
What do you think?
It's also in color. Did we have color back then?
Space exploration is so resistant on going to the moon after being questioned on whether or not it was real. Wouldn't you just go to say, yeah, we can go to the moon again and go to the moon again and then show up there and be like, see, we're on the moon. Now quit saying that we never went there. No, nobody ever did that. What they did was they just ignored the conspiracists. So the conspiracists are like, hey, you don't think you ever went to the moon. We don't think you ever went to the moon. And they're just like, oh, dumb conspiracists. Of course we went to the moon. We got pictures. The conspiracists are like, well, those pictures look like they're done on a movie set, and they don't bother going back to the moon just to say, look, we could go to the moon, okay? I think that if we go to the moon,
just to prove the conspiracists are wrong.
When they put a woman on the moon in 2024, if it goes horribly wrong, then we're going to have some issues of the past, of like 1969, and be like, you guys, did you go there before? What's the deal? How come you can't figure it out now? It's 2024. I mean, this is a long period of time. A lot of technology's come along, and you better make sure that trip goes without troubles whatsoever. I mean, we treat things that happen in space, like docking to the International Space Station, as a big deal, right?
Jeff, hold on. I'm looking at the moon. Look at that picture of the moon. All right, that's when they're on the moon. Look at the top of the flag. There's a bar in there. There's something to support it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why it's sticking out.
I see that. Okay.
What? It took some stupid DJ to figure this out 40 years later?
You're still not telling me why we haven't gone. I mean, that flag is one aspect, one facet of that. Because you know what? You can't get the flag to do that in a movie studio either. Because there's no wind in a movie studio as well.
They could create the wind.
I'm just saying.
Where are you at on this? Do you think we win or not?
I don't think we win.
You really don't think we win?
Why wouldn't we have been back? Why would we
Because
have
there's
not
nothing to go back to.
You go back to do something, okay? I mean, like, you just
I understand that, but
to shut up the naysayer, to shut up people like me, to shut up the fact that, okay, you know what, Jeff, we're going to prove it to you. We're going to go back to the moon and show you that, yes, this is what we did on the moon. But no, since the entirety of my life, okay? 1969 is when we landed on the moon. The entirety of my life plus 6 years. Nobody's been back to the moon. Why did we just say, oh, you know what? Let's just go into space. Let's just keep going into space for aimless trips.
Well, because we were building space stations and launching them and
BFD,
and satellites, and there was just.
You take a space?
We'll get back to the moon when we need to go back.
Why can't you build a space station on a place that has ground? Like the moon has ground.
Okay, so here's the thing:
you can build a big space station on the moon.
Well, you got to get a lot of
that floats around.
Well, but you want to float around the Earth so you can see what's going on.
You can do that on the moon. You can see the moon. You can see the Earth very well from the moon, from what I understand.
Now, people say there's actually satellite shots of the flag as well as the rover that they left up there at the moon. So they left these things up there. So here's the deal. If a woman goes up there, obviously great. I think everybody should go. Send everybody up there so we can make sure there's no discrimination when it comes to anything. Everybody should go. Every race should go.
But nobody's gone. That's the problem.
Everybody should go in 2024. Let's load up that son of a bitch and get up there.
Yes. Let's get to building a space station that's actually on the ground that you doesn't have to get, constantly fix for the next 30 years.
Finally, when they get there and they're like, yep, here we are. And they could probably, do a Zoom call back from the moon to the Earth and say, yep, here's the rover, here's the flag, here's all the stuff that they came up here with in 69 that nobody believed.
This is where you're wrong. Could have done a Zoom call if we had built infrastructure on something called the moon.
You still can. It's satellite phone.
Wi-Fi?
You don't think satellite phones work that way?
Yeah. Spotty Wi-Fi. You better get surfed.
I don't know any more than you do.
You better get surfed.
I have no idea if we went there or not. I think we did, but I guess I'm just some sucker that believes what everybody tells them.
Well, I just think that it's strange that we've never gone back. That's very odd.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Do you think Italians are offended by the usage of Chef Boyardee?
I feel like Italians are tough. They're a tough bunch, and I don't think they're soft, snowflakey type people. So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I think they probably laugh it off.
I mean, is there anything?
And think we're dumb Americans.
I mean, Chef Boyardee's not like I don't know. It's not a caricature, but it kind of is.
It kind of is, right? He was a guy.
He's got a red scarf,
but isn't he more of a cartoon character now on the can?
I'm looking at
it's
the
like
can.
a painted.
I'm looking at the can right now, but it's a painted portrait of the guy.
Yeah.
Is there a real Chef Boyardee? Like, is Chef Boyardee, is he a real person? Like, the reason why I'm asking is Uncle Ben's is now going to be called Ben's Original Rice.
Mm-hmm.
And Does that mean ever since they decided to pull the brand that you can't get Uncle Ben's rice? Is it not on the shelves? Because they're not releasing Ben's original until next year. So they say. So
because Uncle Ben was racist?
Yes.
Because if you call somebody Uncle Ben, they're racist.
I don't know what there was some historical connotation to that people found offensive, and the company did not want to offend people anymore.
This is a great time. Okay, Hector Boyardee started the brand in 1938. Just back to Chef Boyardee.
And that's what he looked like. That guy.
And that's what he looked like.
That's that guy.
He was the guy.
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, he's a real person. The factory where they make Chef Boyardee is a big factory in Pennsylvania.
I don't feel as if, though, I've ever heard anybody with the last name Boyardee before. I understand there are some uncommon last names, but I feel as if, though, that is made up. I don't feel like that is a real person's last name.
According to Wikipedia, it is a real person's name. His name is Hector Boyardee. And actually, it's spelled a little bit different. It's Boyardi. In where he dumbed it down.
They changed it.
Boyardee is what you see on the can. So Hector,
they Americanized it. Well, that is very insensitive to the Italian heritage then of Boyardee.
Look at him
no,
there.
I see how it's spelled.
That's Hector.
Yeah, I see how it's spelled.
Italian chef.
He goes by like it's really offensive to
Ettore. I think his real name is his born Italian name is Ettore Boyardee. God, that's offensive, right? Did I just offend all Italians with that pronunciation?
That was actually perfect. Ettore Boyardee.
What is your favorite Chef Boyardee thing?
Oh, probably the raviolis.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
It's got to be the raviolis
and SpaghettiOs. I like SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs were fine, but I mean, the raviolis were always my favorite.
It's all really.
Did you ever have the beefaroni? Never had the beefaroni. I guess there was also a lasagna. Never cared for the spaghetti and meatballs. The beefaroni, though, sounds like beef and aroni.
Il Giardino d'Italia opened its doors in 1924 in Cleveland, and that's where Hector Boyardee.
Not Hector. Oh, yeah, Hector, sorry. But his real name, Ettore. Ettori.
Ettore
Boyardee.
Dreamed of owning his own restaurant, so he went to Cleveland to open up the Garden of Italy restaurant, the Il Giardino d'Italia.
You got to have the fresh ingredients from the garden to have the fresh Italian food. I get it.
Lines stretched out the door at Hector Boyardee's restaurant in Cleveland, Ohio, in the 20s, and it's just so. It's so funny to me that we've taken this guy and for marketing purposes changed the spelling of it. It reminds me of Paso Robles, really, is what it reminds me of. Because his last name is Boyardee, right? Boirdi.
Right.
But we're like, Boyardee. we even stick the dashes in between the boy, the R, and the D.
I'm surprised they're not taking his picture off the can because I'm sure that's offensive to somebody.
Well, Italians should be offended because they're like, oh, Boyardee is not even a Boyardee.
They're tough. They don't care. They laugh at it.
And Paso Robles should be offended too. Because it's El Paso de Robles, not Paso Robles.
Yeah, nobody cares here. Everything is screwed up and pronounced a different way.
I'm just saying.
Be careful. Snowflakes are going to attack soon. And Chef Boyardee, well, they'll have to go. What do they do? Go back to his original name, Boyardee.
I mean, if they really wanted to pay a proper tribute to the man that died back in 1985. That started up one of the most popular Italian restaurants in all of Cleveland history. I mean, hell, it sparked a national brand that's still going strong today. He must have signed off on that and been okay with, oh, yeah, go ahead, bastardize my name, bastardize my people, because you know what? I'm making some money.
But he was bastardizing it himself. His people, his name, everything. So it's not a big deal.
Listen. When he died, now $60 million in 1985 was a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, now.
It's a lot of money today.
It's a lot of money today.
But back then, yeah, it was worth.
He was worth $60 million as a result of letting ConAgra, whoever distributes Boyardi pastas in a can, change the name to Boyardi.
He built this out of his kitchen into a restaurant to 5,000 workers, producing 250,000 cans a day.
Yeah.
That's pretty good before he ended up selling it off.
We make pretty good Italian food. Let's put it in a can.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.